Hello, my name is Brandy Robinson, and my presentation is on CSS Transitions. What is CSS Transitions? According to the MDN Web Docs, CSS Transitions is a module of CSS that lets you create gradual transitions between the values of specific CSS properties. The behavior of these transitions can be controlled by specifying their timing function, duration, and other attributes. CSS transitions provide a way to control animation speed when changing CSS properties. Instead of having property changes take effect immediately, you can cause the changes in a property to take place over a period of time. For example, you can change the color of an element from white to black. Usually the change is instantaneous. With CSS transitions enabled, changes occur at time intervals that follow an acceleration curve, all of which can be customized. CSS transitions let you decide which properties to animate by listing them explicitly, when the animation will start by setting a delay, how long the transition will last by setting a duration, and how the transition will run by defining a timing function, e.g. linearly or quick at the beginning, slow at the end. Defining CSS transitions. CSS transitions are controlled using the shorthand transition property. This is the best way to configure transitions, as it makes it easier to avoid that the lengths of the parameter list are out of sync, which can be very frustrating to have to spend lots of time debugging the CSS. There are 4 subproperties of transition. They are transition property. This specifies the name or names of the CSS properties to which transitions should be applied. Only properties listed here are animated during the transitions. Changes to all other properties occur instantaneously as usual. Transition duration specifies the duration over which transitions should occur. You can specify a single duration that applies to all properties during the transition, or multiple values to allow each property to transition over a different period of time. Transition timing function specifies a function to define how intermediate values for properties are computed. Timing functions determine how intermediate values of the transition are calculated. Transition delay defines how long to wait between the time a property is changed and the transition actually begins. And here are my references. All right, let's go ahead and look at some examples here. This one is of transition duration. As you can see, this first one right here has transition duration of half of a second. This next one is 1 second. Down here is 2 seconds, and then we have 4 seconds. And you can see the difference that it takes. You can see you can also change, you can cause the picture or item to rotate, and you can change its color. This one is transition delay. Again, we have half a second, 1 second, 2 seconds, and 4 seconds. Now on the timing function, there's also some values that they have. The first one is linear. This specifies a transition effect with the same speed from start to end. As you can see as we scan over this, it is constant. The ease specifies a transition effect with a slow start, then fast, then end slowly. And this usually is the default. The ease in specifies a transition effect with a slow start. As you can see, it starts slowly and ends quicker. The ease out specifies a transition effect with a slow end. So it starts out quickly and ends slowly. The ease in, ease out specifies a transition with a slow start and end. So you can see that as it starts out, it slowly picks up and then slows at the end. Now the transition timing function, it has what is called the cubic Bizet, and it lets you define your own values in a function. The cubic Bizet curve is defined by 4 points, P0, P1, P2, and P3. PO and P3 are the start and the end of the curve, or the start and the end of the curve, and in CSS, these points are fixed as the coordinates are ratios. PO is 0, 0, and represents the initial time and the initial state. P3 is 1, 1, and represents the final time and the final state. You can see that here. In this chart, so the easing functions specify the rate of change of a parameter over time. Objects in real life don't just start and stop instantly, and almost never move at a constant speed. When we open a drawer, we first move it quickly and slow it down as it comes out. Drop something on the floor and it will first accelerate downwards and then bounce back up after hitting the floor. This page will help you choose the right easing function, and I will have a link to it after the link to the video. Now, not all CSS properties are able to be transitioned, and I will also have a link to the ones that can be animated and have these animations. And I have a couple other examples. This one, so not only can we change the colors, and you've seen the ones things rotating, but we can actually change the shape. And one more I have is a card. You see this picture of this band, and flip it over, tells you that it is Jimmy Eat World. Picture. So this one is a card flip, card container, and you can see this is the HTML. And then this is the CSS that creates this. Well, thank you for taking the time to watching this video. I hope that you have learned some stuff. I know that I have learned a lot about transitions, and I'm looking very much forward to putting that into our project. Thank you.